Hey, welcome back to Owl Dragon Adventures. I'm Scott Kegler.
And I'm Rob McPherson, and this is going to be Scott's top 10 solo games of all time.
So we did Rob's video. We're doing mine as well here of my top solo games of all time. Of the two of us, we don't both play a good amount of solo, but I play way too much solo
Because
games.
I sleep at night.
I don't sleep much, and it's also a way I deal with my mental health issues is playing a lot of solo games. I just like
And
to.
I'm perfectly mentally
I was gonna say I like
I
to
try this again.
Yeah, for me, it's like I used to play a lot of online games, and for me, it was a hard way for me to I couldn't shut off from it, the dopamine. So for me, board gaming solo at night, great way for me to unwind and focus. And you finish something, and it's hard to kind of sometimes, depending on the type of game, you can't just reset. You'd be like, yeah, it's going to be a big reset, and that's the least fun part of playing games is setup and tear down. So it needs a way for me to close out of that and be unplugged. So that said, I just play a lot of games, so similar to Rob, I have a couple of honorable mentions here. Games that didn't quite make the cut but are close. I have a up-and-comer game from 2024, a game that, with more plays, I think maybe has some legs, could get into that list at some point, and then we'll get into my top 10. So with that, starting off with my honorable mentions, two games, one of which used to be high up in my solo list, but has fallen off. No real dings against the game, but this is Hoplomachus Victorum. I love the game. The production is out of this world. It's a chip theory game. For me, a lot of reasons why it's not cracking that top list anymore is just it's very grindy sometimes. There's some new content coming out with the Pandora expansion, Pandora's Box expansion. That may change things as I revisit it. It's supposed to speed up parts of the game. They have that Mercury version of it.
They did release a print and play version of that, but because it was print and play and it was not, like, I didn't have the real
Chips and stuff.
chips for it, I couldn't, I don't know, my brain just wouldn't accept the changes.
The whole point of the chip there, you want that bespoke.
Yeah.
But anyways, maybe it'll come back. We will see. My other one is an actual game that Rob introduced to me. And I have played a good amount this year, but not enough where it just didn't crack my top 10. I can see that changing. Love it. Gorgeous game. Great roguelike delver. This is Kinfire Delve. And it's hard for me to pick which box. I know the Scorn's the newest one, maybe, or
No,
Callus.
Callus is the newest one. Scorn's the middle one. It's mean.
Yeah. I played Callus. I picked up. I was somewhere. I grabbed it at one of the game stores, and then I just got into it. I've played it since 2-player with you.
He made me buy the map that I didn't know existed.
Love the little mat. But anyways, that's Kinfire Delve. We'll go into it. We've talked about it already on the channel a little bit. But that's on my honorable mention. Now, up and comer, one that was totally not on my radar. And my wife caught me eyeing it at a game store when I was like, I don't need anything. But it was gorgeous. And I walked by it a few times like, what is this? And this is Tales of the Arthurian Knights. This is actually a kind of a successor of the Tales of Arabian Nights, but obviously reskinned, some rule changes, and I'm really liking it. I'm like, I think 5 or 6 plays into it right now. It is not just a story game like Legacy of Dragonholt, but similar, but it adds actual board where you're moving around and adventuring, and I like the collection of the equipment and the story and the conditions. One thing that cracked me up in one game is I ended up going down this romance line of this knight, and he's running around doing adventures, but I ended up being married like 3 times. So you get a penalty, but you get more romance points every time you get married again. So very funny. I enjoyed it. It's a storytelling game. More to come on that one. That may creep in, because I do love strong theme, and the Matrix book it comes with, like, of just story entries is phenomenal. Great writing, and also very self-aware, because it makes a lot of kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of jokes, clearly hinting at because there's tons of Arthurian movies and all these things. So there's lots of little, like, I would say Easter eggs in there.
Yeah, I'm excited to try that one.
It plays multiplayer. I mean, I'm loving the solo, but I could see with the right group and, like, we have theater backgrounds, like dramatic readings of it. It could be kind of funny with who you run into. And I love the card system combination, but I'll probably do a whole review on that one at some point.
Awesome.
So that's getting into my top 10.
Now that we're done cheating.
Yeah. But hey, a great job on that one. Anyways, the art is gorgeous. If you see the cover, you'll know what I mean.
Beautiful.
So my number 10 solo games of all time is one I don't play all the time, but when I do, it's always a marvel for me. I love the design that went into it, and I know it's mostly just math that figured this out, but it never ceases to amaze me. This is Black Sonata. It is a solo hidden movement game where you're playing Shakespeare trying to find the Dark Lady.
I need to play this. So when I went over for your birthday, you were playing something else when I first got there. So I set it up solo. I literally just finished getting it set up, and they were like, "All right, we're done." I'm like, "Oh,
It's so good though. So the fact that like the card system works so well, where she's literally just kind of hiding around the map, and if you track the clues correctly, you can figure out where she is, and then you have to collect 3 clues of her, and then to determine who she actually is, and you have to then guess and be like, did I guess? It's almost like Clue-esque, where because the clues are all like symbols, like so she's these 3 symbols. I guess these. This is my final guess. Am I right or wrong? And I adore the game. I don't know. I think it's really cool that I can play, and I've always loved hidden movements to play it solo, and it's so well implemented.
Yep.
There's actually an expansion coming out soon that I had backed. I'm very excited for that too.
I'm trying to remember if I backed it or not.
I don't know.
I don't think I did. I think I decided against it.
You just borrow mine.
Yeah. I think that's why I decided against it.
So that is my number 10. Number 9. This is one that was high on my list, has kind of fallen back, but it's still what I would consider a really strong entry from I say this lovingly, inconsistent designer for me sometimes. Sometimes I really love his stuff. Sometimes it's a miss. This is from Scott Almes. This is one of, I think, it is his strongest solo entry for me. That is Recklin Run. So I absolutely adore Recklin Run. I think it is very thematic. I love the dice worker placement, figuring out how to get rid of all these vehicles.
I still remember. So this came out holiday 2022.
Yeah.
Because it snuck in for us.
Yeah. We both played it.
It never left my table the entire winter break.
Yeah, it was so good. It still is good. I really enjoy it. I haven't gone back through the campaign in a while, but
Did you ever beat the expansion?
Yes, I did. No, I've never beat I played the expansion. Brutal. It's only a brutal game when you get up to those last. There's only like 2 or 3 of the first 7 that are really tough, but the last one is really tough. But the expansion with the radioactive stuff is really
never
difficult.
beat even the first thing in the expansion.
But I still love it. It's very thematic. I've played it many, many times because
It's Max. Like
the Mad Max. Yeah. Like if you played the more currently popular Thunder Road Vendetta and you like that, but you want a solo experience, smaller table presence maybe, I highly recommend it. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love building your own driver and your special abilities. So that's my number 9. Yeah, you have Recklin Run as well.
I do, yes.
My number 8. This is my favorite of his games to solo. He is a big Euro designer, and his games can sometimes feel like it's always like, what version of farming is this going to be? This is Uwe Rosenberg. This is my favorite farming game. It's not even farming, but this is a fishing game. This is Nussfjord by Uwe Rosenberg. I absolutely adore this game solo. I like it multiplayer, fine, but I really like it solo. It is just a great worker placement, figuring out how the best way to build up your fishery to be able to, because you get like kind of overwhelmed with it and you lose a lot. There's a lot that you just aren't able to catch, the ability to, and just building up your engine.
I never knew this was a fishing game.
Oh,
I've never played it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. So it's a great fishing game. It plays in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
So you get a Euro game, but it just plays nice and fast.
Love it.
Like a lot of
just talking about how much I love like those mini Euro experiences that you can get in like 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if you can find games that do that, I'm happy.
And I
love my lawn.
And for his solo stuff, I mean, I know some people are like Feast of Odin. Like this is for me. Like I'm like, I just want it to be a nice, quick. Like, give me this experience.
Feast of Odin?
I have not, but but I know it's kind of like a lot of
I hear it all the time. Yeah.
But I love Nussfjord, and I just got the big box this year, and I have all the 6 different decks for variation on the what buildings you get, because like Uwe Rosenberg, you're just building buildings is usually the VP engine, so not
you're farming fish.
You're farming fish, you're building buildings. You're farming something, you're building buildings. Is a Uwe Rosenberg.
Yep.
But yeah, that's
what he does.
Yeah, hey, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Number 7, I like this game a lot more than you do, and that's okay. I think it is one of the examples of crisis management that I actually like. I particularly like it solo because of the addition of it's one of my favorite like, hey, give me extra workers that are special to just a solo game.
Ghosts.
Huh?
Right? They're the ghosts.
You get a hologram.
Hologram, that's it.
You get a hologram, which has got a great meter.
A technological.
And you get an automaton, so you get a robot and a hologram that are also working with you in your fantasy, futuristic, whatever you have set up of Atlantis Rising, where you have like, anachronistic science fiction stuff that you have, and you're trying to stop, or actually, you're not trying to stop. Atlantis is going to sink. It's going to happen. You're trying to build up this portal to leave to go to another world. Kind of, it kind of makes me feel like if you're a Stargate fan, like it gives me that kind of vibe.
Absolutely.
So you're trying to build up your gate to leave because Atlantis is going to get washed away. So it's just
You can build an interplanetary portal, but you can't put up dams.
yeah, you can't stop global warming. But it's just it is a gorgeous game. And it's all set up with all of its. I have all the deluxe stuff for it. Rip Elf Creek, I'm pretty sure. But it is
Or not. That keeps rising.
who knows? But I adore this game solo. It is just, I love watching kind of like the stress of losing the action economy and the action options as the game is going on, as the whole island is sinking. I think it's all done very well. I adore Atlantis Rising, mostly as a solo game.
Yeah, no, I think it's a solid game. I like it, but the crisis management is just a big knock against it for me. But that being said, like, I'm very rarely going to say no if you want to break that out.
It's a gorgeous game too.
It's
I think that's a vintage trait.
might be.
Yeah, it's absolutely stunning, and I would be shocked if it's not vintage trait. I should know that. Number 6. So my number 6 game is new to me, very new to me, but I've already played many games of it. This is a Euro. Again, talking about that Euro, you can play in about 30, 45 minutes. And it has a very interesting, unique utilization of Mancala, where it is a Roman shipping game called Ostia. I have been playing a lot of this.
I enjoy the fact. So sorry to put pause on you. We usually put a kibosh on any games that we are very new because we feel we haven't played them enough. He only got this 2 weeks ago.
Oh, 3 weeks
but it
ago.
still qualifies because of how many times you've played it.
I've played it a lot. I've played it like multiple times a night, many nights. I adore it. It's also good multiplayer. I've only played it twice multiplayer, but I played it solo many, many times. I love the puzzle of figuring out what because you have your ships built out in this little cove at Astia, which resources I'm going to get from the ships I'd pick up, and then in Moncala dropping one ship off wherever I land. That's the action I'm taking in this turn.
Yeah.
So you're constantly trying to figure out like not only what resources do I want, what action I want to take, but the next turn, where do I need to have ships set up at what count to get the right resources and the right thing. So it's a great puzzle.
I'm excited to play it, but I'm also afraid that I'm gonna. It sounds up my alley.
It's so good. It's really solid. I love, and also what I love from a solo Euro is the solo bot is basically just it's similar to a game on your list. I think Revive had this where it's just a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
So this one is you get 15 turns.
Yep.
And that's the whole engine. So it's I don't have to run a lot. I just have to also beat him score wise.
Yep.
And the expansion Pirates, phenomenal. When you add it adds more complexity, more options. So I would say kitchen sink, all of it is easily in my top 10.
I like that you're becoming swayed to the idea.
No, just throw it all in.
Everything.
Yeah. Number 5. Crossover with yours. No, it's not the same. A little higher on my list. Solo is we talk all the time. I don't need to go into too much detail. Asymmetrical solo tactics adventure game is Too Many Bones. It's fantastic. To date, it's their best entry. With a caveat that I will say that could change.
Yeah.
With
In a week or two.
yeah, in the coming weeks when we get Elder Scrolls in multiple plays, because right now Too Many Bones has like 4-year lead for me, or like 3-year lead for me on how many times.
Packs I picked it up, and you picked it up about 3 months later.
Yeah.
So,
Like 2022, I think I got it at the end of that year.
yeah, because 2021 PAX is our first.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I've played it a lot. I have many, many hours of Too Many Bones, but I just absolutely love it. And there's so many characters I like playing it. I love the art. It's really growing on me. Love that universe.
Yeah. Oh, so
And the humor in the
so good. So good.
Huh?
The dork.
Oh, that's still dumbest thing. Have you ever seen there's a chip that's called it's a dork? And I sent it to him. He thought I was kidding at first.
No, I thought you would back the joke pack because they literally
right.
joke chips.
There was a joke chips pack that I backed, but then I was like, it was in the newest one. It was in
Yeah, it's a legit chip.
Yeah, it was a legit chip in one of the newest games of it, and it is a dork, but spelled DORC.
The exact same artwork as their
But it's a word,
with
but it's got butt teeth, and he's got like a white shirt with a bow tie and Buddy Holly glasses. I was like, mwah. Absolutely love it. The phrase bit at my number 4. Another solo Euro game. Absolutely adore it. Fans in that category where it's got a very easy solo to run, so I can get through it a lot. I played this one so many times. Rob won't play this one with me either.
Yeah.
And it what it lacks in theme, I would say, it makes up for in mechanics, and this is Nova Roma. So a Stan Gronowski game. I love the puzzle in the middle, and particularly as a solo game, I like the Legionnaires that block access to things, and if they ever are going to be placed and would go over your meeples, that gives more points to the AI because you're playing against the AI, so there is a win condition. So it's not just beat your own score. Really love Nova Roma. I love how it lets you figure out how all the little mini game playgrounds around the board really interact with each other.
That's a shame I could never play it again.
Yeah, I've played it a lot. I think we played it with a friend Corey like recently at like maybe one of the level ups, and I just like I ran away with it because I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I play it too much. But I adore that game, and I like all Stan Gronowski's game pretty much.
That's what I did play it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. That's my number 4, Nova Roma. Number 3. Been on my solo top list since we started doing this. This is probably the game that reawokened the idea of just sitting down and playing solo games for me during the early pandemic.
Reawokened.
We're just gonna call it that.
Sorry, couldn't let that one go.
It's been a long day of filming these.
Yep.
So this is a only solo player game. One of the cheapest games you can get if you're getting into the hobby for solo games. It box is about this big, and that is Friday by Fred McFreeze. It is you are playing Robinson Crusoe. Or actually, you're playing as Friday, trying to help Robinson Crusoe stay alive and not eat poisonous food or what have you, and keep him alive through 3 seasons, enough to the point where he can fight pirates and leave the island. It is a simple deck builder, and the way it's done is you're fighting to survive, to get all the new cards into your deck to survive longer and longer on the island.
I gotta pick up that app.
Oh yeah,
App for it.
I like having the physical cards, but it's a fantastic game.
I'll lose it.
Yeah, fair enough. But that's Friday, my number 3. Number 2 is new to my list this year, but it's not a new game this year. I had picked it up. I got twist my arm, suckered into a board game sale. I always saw this game and I heard good things about it. It's a solo only. You can play it cooperative. I don't know why you would. But I have played a ton of it in 2024, and this is Nemo's War: The Ultimate Edition. This is a adventure game where you are playing as Nemo and the Nautilus. You are going around, and depending on which motive you choose, there's 8 different ways to play the game. So every motive of Nemo, you're being focused on warfare, or you're focused on maybe adventure, and just you get to explore or kind of lean into a different aspect of the game every time you play it, because depending on the motive, the game scores differently.
Gotcha.
So if you're doing warfare, yeah, blow up all the ships you can, and that's what you want to do. But don't blow up like trade ships, because that's like your negative VP. But any warships of other nations that are trying to attack you, you get a lot of points for that. Adventure, the more adventure cards you go through in the game, if you lean into that, and then if you do a lot of combat, I think it's like a kind of a wash. But then you could also be, I think there's like a peaceful one where you're trying to like get world order. And it's just interesting because every time you revisit it, I know it's just
sounds so ominous. Peaceful, just a whole new world order.
Yikes. It's been a long day. But anyways, it's what I like about it is it's a adventure game. Like I always relate it to playing a dungeon crawl, because it feels like you're doing a world adventure type game, but it's set in the sea where you're traveling around and you're doing these cards where you're trying to meet these objectives, keep Nemo alive, the crew, and the ship are all your main resources in the game.
Nice.
His resolve, the crew's alliance with you, and the ship's basically
Kind of
condition.
reminds me. Is it akin to gameplay like what Robinson Crusoe plays? I mean, not like 1-to-1, but kind of the same feel.
Nah, not really. I think of it more like any kind of adventure type game you would play, like moving around, like almost like a dungeon crawl.
Oh, okay.
Like
All
it's
right.
just these are your resources. You're traveling around, but you never like you always stay within the world map. And you're jumping around and always encountering things.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's it's just so much fun. Like, and I love doing like the warfare ones and getting lucky and just getting a ton of. You get wreckage and you store wreckage as like
Gotcha.
VP at the end of the game. It is a phenomenal game. It's gorgeous. The Ultimate Edition. So much fun. And I've always loved the book. So it's just for me, it's very thematic. I love the references to the book. There's tons of events from the book that are in the actual actions of the game. So that's my number 2, Nemo's War. Probably spent too much time on that one. And my last is still my favorite game, solo game of all time. Nothing has changed here. It's not going to change. I revisit this one throughout the year. Absolutely adore the art. It's very unique to like my style, like old school D&D. It's a rogue-like dungeon crawler. It is definitely, for those who have gotten into it and play it, they're very passionate about it, including myself. And that's Iron Helm by Grey Gnome Games. It is fun, delightful. It can be very mean, and I just love it because I love getting lucky enough, get the right combinations cleverly of magic items, and just fighting my way all the way to a boss and getting through it. And then I've played through the whole campaign too, where you can play all 7 adventures through the same character carried over, and I've done that all. I adore Iron Helm. It is my favorite solo game of all time.
Nice.
So that's my list. If there's anything you disagree with, or you think there's a game that I should be playing that didn't appear on my list based on my taste, I'd love to hear about it. Go ahead, drop something in the comments. Any thoughts from you, or?
No, I still have to play Iron Helm. I have not. I've played I've played Tin Realm now, which I like.
Good distillation of yeah.
But no, it's one that I've had it in my cart like 6 times now. And then I had it in my print and play cart. No, actually, you know what? I own it. I own the print and play of it.
Yeah,
Because there was a sale one time where I literally bought, I think I bought almost everything for it.
Oh,
print and
nice.
play. It's print and play, so I have to print it all out.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I've also bought them all on sales as he's been doing them, and I have everything, like every bit of content for it. I'm very much looking forward to.
I was going to say this next one.
Underquest.
Underquest. Yeah.
That
too.
could maybe unseat Iron Helm. Who knows? But like for me right now,
So we went back to the drawing board on that one a little bit, right?
He did, yeah. And thankfully he's also staying busy because he almost like threw it in the towel and decided to not put games out anymore. But I'm like, please, Jason, don't stop. I like your games; they're really good. But Iron Helm is like his masterpiece. Really love that game. Always thrilled to get to the table.
Yeah.
But with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you did. And with that, we wish you good luck with all of your future board game adventures.
And thank you for joining us on ours.